Good afternoon, everybody. Well, as you obviously know, being a part of the Florida East Coast Travel League team, part of USSSA, we had our tournament this weekend, our Wellington Classic that was in support of the Wellington Colts. 12U team, manager Scott Busser and his entire team that's going to be heading to Cooperstown.
Very cool.
And, 96 teams we had. 96 teams, 14 fields, and 3 separate ballparks.
Wow.
It was an amazing weekend. Unfortunately, if you live in here in South Florida, actually, all of Florida, that weather came through like Sunday, unreal on Sunday and prevented us from finishing the whole entire tournament, which I am extremely, extremely bummed out about. There's a lot of hard work that goes into planning this stuff, and I've never realized it until we all got into it now. Sitting on the sidelines watching your kid, it's like, oh yeah, great, we're going to go to the tournament, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you get into it and you realize, the heart, the dedication, the passion that goes into it, and then all the logistics, the back office type stuff, ordering the banners and ordering the cup, which I brought today, and the rings and all the cool stuff that we're trying to do, the step and repeat, the press conferences, the media, getting in contact with ESPN, getting in contact with our sponsors, getting in contact with the Palm Beach County Sports Commission, dealing with the town and organizing the schedule and dealing with the umpires, making sure they show up and making sure we have baseballs. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this.
Was it an Irish bagpipe?
Thank you for mentioning that. I didn't even meant we had a bagpipe band.
Was it Irish or Scottish?
I think they were Scottish.
Good.
Yeah.
The way it should be.
I didn't see any shepherd's pie, so we're good.
Well, I'm Scottish, so I mean...
You're funny. Your dad looks like he's from Wales. Scottish. Yeah,
well
very
done.
Good. Very good.
Yeah, well done.
So, but yeah, the amount of, I think every show we've had, I think we've quoted some sort of movie at one point or another.
I think we do that anyway. We've done that since we were kids.
Pretty much. But so the amount of stuff that goes into this.
The
flyover again. We had a Scottish band coming in, honored our honored guest, walked them into the field number 6 where they were playing and they're having their first game of the night. We had the mayor come out, throw a first pitch.
Yep.
And then we had a flyover again, courtesy of the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, who is very big supporters of Florida East Coast Travel League and the Fleetle.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, look, again, we talk about this every week. Or
it's like a get out of jail free card in so many words.
Yeah, I guess.
Just spitfired it out there. Whatever.
Yeah,
hopefully one of the officers are watching and they make note of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
So, it was a great event and it went for a very good cause. That's our motto here. We're trying to give back. We're trying to do things differently. We're trying to set apart ourselves from our competition of what they're doing. And what we're doing is, in my opinion, bar none, the best product out there.
Yeah.
I mean, trophy, rings,
banners,
Scottish band, banners, flyovers, step and repeats,
sexy merchandise girls.
Yeah. You see those t-shirt girls? Man. We should have had a hot body contest.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Remember the candy shop on Fort Lauderdale Strip?
Yo, man. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to lie to you, dude. I mean, I know it sounds kind of flamboyant on my end, but I'm going to tell you, dude, the pink Fleetle shirts are freaking gas, bro.
You like those?
Kelly came home with that thing on the other day, and I'm like, good morning.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Hi, nurse.
The
blue pill is in the cabinet.
Why are you drinking so much water, Jeff? Don't worry about it. Just keep the shirt on. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man. Them things are gas.
Yeah.
Dude. I like those.
Yep. Well, my wife's favorite color is pink. So,
I know.
Yep. So, cool creations and the pink Panthers.
Yeah.
The pink Cougars.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Got to do a thing for her next week, actually.
I got
a party.
You got a photo booth thing?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to She Cool Creations and the photo booth. You ever need a photo booth? Call She Cool Creations.
That's right. She's got the best photo guy in the business.
Yeah. So man, look, I'm proud of what we did. I'm disappointed in the way it ended. I don't believe in the game's not over till it's over, in my opinion. I apologize. I know I can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it. The weather is the weather. We live in sunny South Florida sometimes. And then when it rains, it rains. I mean, it hadn't rained for 4 weeks. And in 4 weeks, we didn't get a drop of rain.
I know.
And all of a sudden, one day, demolished 14 fields. And I mean demolished, man. I got pictures. I was there at 5:30 in the morning looking at the fields and going, I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. And our first tournament, Stand Up to Cancer, when we did it in Coral Springs, we had games had started already on Friday night after our opening ceremonies on Thursday.
I remember Jackson was
one cloud. And I mean one cloud.
And it set right over top of us.
No, it went from one field like a twister. One field to the next, to the next, to the next.
Yep.
And then when it did that, or I should say park.
Yeah.
We were done.
Yeah.
One cloud.
I remember the one field. I think it was Wellington. I think it was Wellington 9U. 9 or 10U. I can't remember. I think it was 9 or 10U.
1 through 4.
And when we for that Friday night. And we just started laughing because the rain started coming. And when those fields don't drain for crap. I literally looked at him and I'm like, just go get your bathing suit on, dude. It was that puddled to the point where I'm like, you couldn't see their cleats anymore. The water just took it over. And I'm like, no, man, just because they're all like, well, do we wait?
Yeah.
Wait for what? Tomorrow?
Right.
I mean, what are you waiting on?
Yep.
But yeah,
it stinks, man. And like, again, I'm proud of our organization. I'm proud of why we're doing what we're doing. And I'm proud that we were able to get the relationship that we got now with the Wellington Colts and the town of Wellington. And I'm just proud of everybody for all the hard work that everybody puts into this, and just disappointed for the kids because, again, we're doing it for them. Dylan was playing, and his friends are playing, and friends we've made along the way with this. And, it's just disappointing. People traveled. We had people coming from Naples. We had people coming from Vieira, Cutler Bay, Homestead. It's not fun to tell somebody the game is over when it's not over.
Yeah, when it's not done. Yeah.
That's not fun. I don't look forward to that. I am a guy, we are people who love competition and love playing the game. I don't want to end a game unless I absolutely have to, and we absolutely had to.
Correct.
That was the bad part. For me, and we were trying to do something next week.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out. And there's rules and regulations that go along with this if certain situations happen through USSSA. And, sometimes you can't just continue on. You have to end it.
Yeah.
And ending it sucks. And I don't like it. And I don't want to do it again. So I got plans for that. And we'll talk about that later.
Fair.
Maybe another show.
Okay.
But understand, anybody who's listening to us right now that maybe participated or future participation later on in some of our other events coming up, we are going to do everything possible to make sure we see the smiles at the end of the competition.
Well,
start it, finish it. I want to start it. I want to finish it. I want to start what we got into to prepare to get to that point, to get to that day, to get to that weekend. And I want to finish it. I want to give the trophies away. We want to give everything that we've worked to get you guys.
Yeah.
And the experience and the benefits that come along with it. That is our intentions. It is never my intention or our intention to step away and just say, thanks, guys. Have a nice day.
Right.
Absolutely freaking not.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You're hearing it right here. I'll tell you to your face. I'll tell you in person. I'll tell you over the phone. I'll tell you in an email. It is never my intention. It is never Florida East Coast Travel League's intention to cancel something just because we have now got to a point where the weather came. I will do everything. I'll get out there and rake it myself. It's not the first time I've done it.
Yeah. And here's all I'm going to say about it. So as far as tournament and weather and whatever has gone on, I don't know much has gone on. Like I said, I've been on the weather. I haven't talked to you pretty much since Friday. I had a baseball game Saturday. Don't want to talk about that. That's the first time I had to wash a jersey in friggin' a season, dude. Like, I'm not happy about it. But I will say, I don't know if any of my parents are listening, since some of them do have wanted to subscribe to the show. Hats off to the 7 kids that actually did show up on my team on Saturday. I know a couple of them where I know I had 2 under the weather and 2 in travel ball things, but I mean, I can't play a game with 7 kids, man.
No.
So I'm like,
you can, but you got 2 empty positions.
I got that, and I'm giving up 2 outs. So
right, once you get through the lineup.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I ended up, I borrowed 2 kids that happened to just got done with the game.
Where'd you find them? 7-Eleven?
No, they just walked off the field, and they overheard me saying something to
that's awesome.
My assistant coach, and said, damn, I wish I could grab 2 kids, man. I don't know who to ask. And the one kid volunteered.
Yep.
And I was like, really? And I'm like, well, go talk to your punk ass dad, see if he'll let you do it. And so his dad said he was cool with it. He was going to go watch his other kid play on another field. So no big deal. So I took one kid, and then the other kid came over to my assistant coach and said he would do it if he was doing it. So I got 2 kids out of that. So hats off to those guys for at least sticking around and playing another hour and 40 minutes of baseball. So, I mean, Jesus, man, that's a 3-hour day just on the baseball field back to back. I know I would have been chafed, but all I'm going to say is like this, man. There's 2 mothers that you can never control, and that's your own and nature. You can't ever control your own mother, and you can't control Mother Nature.
I can never control my mom.
No, my mom would slap me right in the damn mouth. I know your mom would. And she'd slap me in the mouth too for just standing there and you trying to control it. So I've had shoes thrown at me. You're forgetting those days.
Never forget those days.
God, man. Tickling my feet at freaking 5 a.m. just to piss me off. Oh, Jesus.
Get
loved
up, Jeffrey.
Her. Oh, God, I loved her.
Jeffrey.
But anyway, you can't control those things. And I'm sure it upsets people. And I'm sure people get bitter. And some people probably just don't give a shit. They're probably like, hey, whatever, dude. It rained. Hey, we didn't have to play. Cool, whatever. Here's what it is. Enjoy your Sunday.
And they're moving on to the next one.
Exactly. I mean, this is, I think at the end of the day, and maybe I look at travel different. And if I'm wrong, feel free to come in and talk to me about it, because I'm not a huge fan, as you know, I'm not a huge fan of mixing up money and power in youth sports. I think it's a waste of damn time. I get how this works as far as I'm not pointing to the trophy. I'm like travel. I get how it works. You got to pay for that. I totally understand. You're paying to play, and you need the money to get in the tournaments, and you need money to get in leagues, and you need money for uniforms, and you need money for that. I get all that. I understand how it works. What I don't get is how people can feel that, I don't know, man, like if it's out of somebody's control, that it's an issue. Like, I mean, really? I had somebody talk to me today. I'm not going to mention who, Cody, and because it was him, and I'll blast him all over this thing. I don't give a damn. But he even said that he was hoping to play this team, and I hope we got to play them or whatever. And then when the thing came out, he sent me a text, and in the first
now,
all he said was "damn."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's pissed because he wants to play, dude. But it's like he said, I'm coming an hour and 30 minutes, man. Right. Like, if I'm going to go there, I want to play. If I go there and I'm not going to play, I'm going to get mad.
Right.
So I get how it works. At least, I guess in so many words, at least you let everybody know a week in advance that this isn't going to happen.
I'm working on this all day today, Jeff.
Yeah.
All day. Since the moment I woke up, I was already in preparation mode to make this happen next Sunday.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, do whatever I had to do. We sent out the email last night or the night before, letting everybody know that we're going to do that. We're going to try to do this. We're going to attempt to do this. We got the green light that we could use the fields. But look, not everybody could play because that's how travel baseball is. It's on to the next thing, right, the next day.
So speaking of that, so this one here, the Wellington Classic, was to help Wellington, Colts. The Colts, the 12U get to Cooperstown, right?
Yep.
So now you're going to do a new one, the Marucci Wood Bat Tournament, by Dick's Sporting Goods,
and that's for the Royal Palm Beach
Predators.
Yep.
Okay, for them to go to Cooperstown,
another
right?
organization. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I'm trying to get across here. In so many words, I mean, I don't know what is going on or anything like that. I have no idea what.
I'll read you some of the crap I get.
No, I don't want to know about it.
I don't want to know about it either.
Better that I don't know, because then it doesn't tie me to knowing anything. But all I'm going to say is this, and this is coming from somebody that's getting ready to start a travel team, and mine starts in 2.5 months. So it's one of those where certain things that I will hear, I'm sure I'll hear about. Just know that I don't forget those things, and pray to God that we don't meet, because if I meet you on the diamond, it's going to be fun. Because I'm going to play no holds barred, Jack. But all I'm going to say is this. And technically, yes, it's a tournament. You're winning things. It's a freaking fundraiser. I mean, that's like when I host fundraisers at the Elks. We had to do it. We did a fundraiser for cystic fibrosis, which my cousin has. And love Ford, by the way. He's awesome. And he's doing great, by the way. But we raised money for that. Well, then you had people complaining that this didn't do this and we didn't do this. And how come this didn't happen this? It's a freaking fundraiser, dude. What are you complaining about, man? That team's not complaining. So here's my suggestion. If you have a complaint and you're under the age of 11 years or under the age of 12 years old, do not call here asking to host a tournament to raise money for you to go to Cooperstown or Pigeon Forge or anything like that. In my book, don't call.
Right.
Because if you can't handle this, then we can't handle that. That's my philosophy. I'm not saying that's the philosophy of Fleetle. I'm not saying that's the philosophy. Phil did not support what I just said. I'm not saying any of that. That's just how I feel about it. It's a fundraiser, man. We're here to help these kids experience something that they'll probably never forget the rest of their lives. I'm 44 and I've never been to the freaking Baseball Hall of Fame. Never. And I played baseball longer than all these little freaking kids.
I'm an agent.
I've never did. You're an agent.
And I never.
And you've never gone.
Nope.
Closest I've been to anything historical like that was when I went to old Yankee Stadium and I got to see the Yankee Wall.
Yep.
That's the only thing close to history baseball that I've ever been to. Ever.
And let's put this out there for real. Let's talk real life.
Okay? I'm getting fired up right now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry, buddy.
Usually it's me.
I'm under the weather, so I mean, if I get a little I'm going nuts here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Medicine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way, right? Okay. So again, all these things you're mentioning, we're teaming up with these organizations. Wellington, we've done Coral Springs, Clippers, now the Wellington Colts. Next tournament's going to be with the Royal Palm Beach Predators, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I like them.
How old's Dylan? Do you know?
12.
So Dylan was on a team for a while. Not going to mention any names, and that team broke up. Okay. Team broke up, completely broke up.
Like dismantled. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
So this is his 12U Cooperstown year. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that team breaks up. They were never going to go anyways. At least I don't think so. It's not cheap. First of all, Jeff, it's $20,000 to go to Cooperstown. $20K.
Now, what do you do when you go there? Do you play a game?
Yeah, you play a whole week of games and there's opening ceremonies, and it's kind of similar to like what we're doing here locally, except it's all the way up in Cooperstown, New York, right next to the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
The experience is great. The mountains are beautiful. The fields are awesome, and there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of camaraderie. The kids get to stay in a bunk air or what's the word I'm looking, like a dorm.
Okay, yeah.
Parents
like a
bunkhouse, whatever. Kids kind of like Little League World Series too, in a sense. You know, they have their own quarters.
Section. Yeah.
And then the parents get an Airbnb or a house or hotel or whatever. And it's a great team camaraderie thing. And most teams strive to get there, but it's not easy. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a lot of standing in front of Publix and asking for dollar bills.
Yeah.
Okay. $20K. That's a lot of Publixes. All right. It's a lot of hours standing in front of Publixes. So we're trying to help that. But back to my son. So Dylan was supposed to go. That team breaks up. You're not going. Then he goes on to another team. Won't mention that name. Okay. And all the nice derogatory stuff that's surrounding around me and Fleetle and what we're doing affects him with another team because people think they can just do that. And that's okay. But they're there for kids. You know, we're here for kids. We're doing tournaments and we're doing this and we're collecting money and sticking it in our pockets and we're doing all this happy horse shit that they keep mentioning they're doing.
Yeah.
They're not really doing that because their actions speak louder than their words when they tell a kid he can't play in a tournament.
Yeah. Well, and that's
West Boynton Cobras and Oscar Santolo and Jared Catcher.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
And this is shit.
This is the problem that you have. And this is what I get at with power and money and youth sports, right? This is where the problem is that all those people in this, everybody has mentioned or whatever. This is where you have the problem. Is they don't ever want to. This isn't about nothing personal to the child, nothing personal against the kids. We don't want to bring the kids involved. But you are bringing the kids.
No, 100%. It started out they didn't want me there.
Yeah,
because I'm this big threat, as they're all saying. I'm a threat.
You're 5'7". Yeah, that's fine.
5'7". Oh, okay. I got to stand on a table to be 5'7".
All right, 5'6", 5'5". But we'll go.
Not only that, but then so I'm whatever. Then they tell then the team can't play. Then there's a big uproar, and your friend Cody calls and says a bunch of different things, and it's wrong what you're doing to a kid. Then they appease everybody and say, oh, no, it's just a mistake and blah, blah, blah. And then 2 days before, John Isotano and the rest of the schmucks over there decide to say, oh, no, he can't play. This is a kid.
Yeah.
You're running an organization and you just told because you don't like his father, you can't play.
Yeah, not right.
So what did that cause? Friction between him and the other club. And I'm getting all this stuff out right now because I'm really sick and tired of people saying we're doing this for money and we're doing this for this, and all these other people are not
money.
Right? What money? Red.
Yeah.
You ever heard red?
Yeah.
R-E-D, red. In the red. Still in the red.
Yeah.
These things are not cheap.
Yeah.
The banners are not cheap. Maintenance is not cheap on fields. Okay. Overtime hours for city employees, not cheap.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything that we're talking about today goes back to what we were trying to do to accomplish to make sure those kids got the games that they deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Those kids got the games that they were promised to get and expected to get over the weekend. And Mother Nature came and said, sorry, guys, we can't do this for whatever reason. And it sucks.
Yeah.
But you know what sucks more? When you tell a kid he can't play and that tournament goes on.
Yeah.
That sucks more.
Yeah, that's crap. Well, you know what, though? I will say hats off to Cody, though.
Yeah.
Hats off to Cody.
Cody's my boy, dude. Listen.
He's a great dude, man.
Stand-up guy.
He's a great guy. And the best thing I like about Cody, so for those of you that are out there who are going to end up maybe watching this later or whatever, so Cody Lai was my boss at Bang for almost 4 years. He coaches the Kane Select, I think it is, up in Port St. Lucie. The best thing about that guy is he has the same mentality that I think you have and that I have. And I just don't care. Like, if you don't like what I got to say, I don't care. He doesn't care. He legitimately does not care.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty part. So hats off to him. I do want to say a couple shout outs real quick that are on here. Yeah, we got some shout outs here. Cool. So obviously Sheila's on, so we love her to death. Louis Maldonado has joined on.
My boy Louis.
Yeah. Louis is good dude.
Louis Maldonado, dude.
I played
love that
baseball
kid.
with him a long time ago, back when we were kids.
Maldonado's a good dude. Where's he at? I don't see him.
He's on. He's watching.
He's watching.
Yeah, he's watching. And
comment, so I know you're there, Louis.
We have another good guy coming on. Our good buddy Dave Francis is watching.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah, he is watching, and my good buddy Justin Bivens.
Let's tell a story about how this all started with you and I. Dave was working with you doing 14. What was it?
Oh, Jesus.
1420, 1440. That place in Delray that had that little shack.
Yeah.
Anyways,
hopefully Dave's out there. I know he's watching. So if he can tell, I think it was.
What was the call sign?
I think it was
1420.
1420.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, WBJA.
It's kind of like that girl I met at the bar. She didn't mean much either.
Yeah, I don't even know who she is.
So at the end of the day, like, that's how this all started with Jeff and I. Dave and Jeff, and Dave's got
the best radio voices that you'll never hear.
Radio voices I've ever heard, along with my buddy here, Jeff. I'm just the kind of like the guy that's can talk and talk all day long. But, Jeff and Dave were doing their show. Dave, unfortunately, couldn't do it anymore.
Yep.
Jeff asked me to step in, and that's how this all started. And
it's 100% what happened.
I mean, to the T.
Literally.
And I used to call in as Saul.
You were Saul when you call.
Yeah, I was just trying to get my 2 minutes of fame every week while you guys are on the air.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the best one was when Saul was at the shuffleboard.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, that was fun. And then,
God.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, Dave.
My stick is broken.
And let's see, Dave. I mean, really, the whole idea of at the time was the Dave and Jeff show.
Was that what it was called?
I think it was 14. I think it was, well, that came after Dave.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When Dave couldn't do it anymore, I don't remember what happened there, but I really don't. It's been so damn long. Hell, that was like 14 years ago.
It's got to be. Dylan's 12.
Yeah, it was before him. So yeah, it's every bit of 14 years. So he had something going on or whatever, and he had to walk away. I think it was work or something like that. But and that's when I changed it, because at the time I had you come on once, and then I had my cousin Alan come on once.
Yep.
Because I think you had something going on, so I had him sub, and then I just named it the Jeff Allen Show after that. But it really, the whole idea of doing local radio, promoting local things, that was all Dave's idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. He brought me on just because of the fact of my radio background.
Right.
But he was like, and so he did the same thing. I mean, he used to work at Cool 105.5. So that was his claim to fame. He would come on after Skip Kelly, my good friend, Skip Kelly, the skipper.
Nice.
Yeah. Then, so yeah, I mean, I miss Dave. Good dude. Always is him and another guy named Dana Morrison, who will probably be watching, but he's in Vegas. So he'll get it later. He watches it on YouTube. But yeah, I usually get comments from both of them all the time, asking what's going on and what's going on about this and what's this and what's that and who's this and who's that. And yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. So at least, somebody's watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a weird week, man.
That's okay. Look, like I said, man, I know we kind of rant and we rave and we get some things off our chest that sometimes you just need to get off your chest. And honestly, that's been one of the things I've been wanting to get off my chest, because I'm sick and tired of hearing about, oh my God, these guys are so great. Yep. And they're awesome and they love kids and they're doing such a great job. Bullshit.
I think your mother-in-law is watching, by the way, too.
My mother-in-law?
Yeah.
No, that's
who is
that's
that?
my Aunt Barbara. That's Sheila Aunt Barbara Sifka.
Oh, Babs.
Yeah, Barbara. Aunt Barbara. She's a huge mad fan. I gotta get Wally on and let her talk to Aunt Barbara.
We need to get Wally on. Anyway.
In fact, you know what? I'm gonna text Wally right now and tell him to call this number.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
Call her?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
All right. Wally, can you call this number real quick?
Yeah, Babs, you're gonna have to get back with us and let us know what's going on. We want to see if Wally Backman gives you a call.
He's gonna call.
100%. We'll probably call her. May ask her to take her out to dinner. You never know with that guy.
Yep, he will.
Yeah, he's an animal. I love it.
Well, he's really pushing us to do a live simulcast with him, as a podcast part of the show with Diamond Deals.
Whatever, let's do it.
I mean, I told him, I'm like, well, you don't have to tell me twice, dude.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I mean,
who we got coming on?
He wants to get us Joe Torre. He's like, I get you, Joe. I'm like, you can get us Joe Torre? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Holy crap. All right.
I mean, you see that?
Yeah.
She'll answer. You want to?
She will now, because we just freaking told her who it is. How about I call Babs?
She might not know the number. Wally actually is in New York right now. I think if it's not today, it was this past weekend. He was doing something for Lenny.
Send him the address.
For Lenny
Have him go over and say, hey.
She's in Corona, right next to the Lemon Ice King.
Really?
You ever see that place or that one on what was that show with Kevin James?
King of Queens?
King Queens. Yeah, they always show it right there. He's eating that ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where she's at?
Right next door.
I'll be damned.
Pretty close to it. That's where Sheila grew up. That's where the famous Parkside restaurant is. One of my favorite Italian restaurants.
Yeah, you always talk about that.
Absolutely.
There's certain people that I do want on the show, though.
Right.
That sometimes aren't sports people.
Well, who's that?
I want Sammy the Bull Gravano on this show.
You're going to get me whacked.
I got to keep you quiet.
No, you can't have him on the show.
I think it'd be awesome.
I mean, look, I get it. He's doing podcasts now. I've seen it, obviously.
But he's great, dude.
I know he's, whatever. I mean,
he's hilarious.
He's a rat.
Whatever. It's hilarious.
And I can't talk to him.
And then don't talk to him. I'll talk to him.
Stay home that day.
Yeah. You fake sick. I'll come in here by myself, talk this whole Sammy the Bee.
Yeah, that's a bad move on my part.
Yeah, you can't do it.
No.
It's against like your culture, for Christ's sakes.
I mean, I can't do it.
Have Keith Hernandez call her, is what Sheila just said.
I mean, I got to tell Wally to call her. Yeah. We'll get Wally and Keith on.
I want him to come on
the horn. How about Howard Johnson?
Oh, Hojo. You know what though? Did
they really name the hotel after him?
I don't think so.
He had some sort of endorsement deal. He had to have at that point.
I think he did then, but I think he did. I know I got Glavin still working on getting Maddox and Smoltz over here too, so I got to reach back out.
We haven't had a guest in a while. We not that we haven't wanted to, but we want to kind of mix it up a little bit. We always want to kind of give everybody a little bit of our perspective and not a half-hour show of us and then half-hour show of talking other stuff. But now I think it's time to get another guest on. We'll work on that this week.
Maybe we get the head coach from the Colts to come on.
Scott's like one of the. I was like he didn't even know. I couldn't tell him I was doing the bagpipe stuff, or we were doing the bagpipe stuff because he would have been like, "No, I don't do that." We had to surprise him with it because otherwise he wouldn't have done it.
No, we got to get him on.
Yeah,
just to say,
he's not a spotlight kind of guy.
He doesn't. Then just do the audio. You don't have to do video. Just call in and say, hey.
You'd be like Updike and just let the sun go down.
yeah, then you can't see him at all. Good Lord. Yeah, he was fun too.
Johnny Updike.
Yeah, he was fun.
I haven't talked to him in a minute either.
But, I mean, as far as, like I said, the whole travel baseball world, man, it's just something I guess I got to learn to control my my emotions, I guess.
I've said this, and it's as true as I can say it. Hand on the Bible, the whole bit. Like youth or professional baseball, from my perspective, is totally a business now. 100%. It's that's not a secret. Like it's a business. Big money goes behind it. Big marketing endorsements and big money for tickets and stadiums and new. I mean, they're talking about the new 2 expansion teams. Yeah. So Nashville's one of them, and I hope they get it. Yeah, that's one of my favorite places. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
But youth baseball is a business right now. It's a business.
Yep.
And that's sad. Look, don't get me wrong. Did we charge admission registration fees? Yes. But we also put out a lot of product for what people were getting.
Right.
And what they paid.
Right.
A lot of product.
Yeah.
And I mean a lot of product. Like an entire staff of people hustling, working their butts off, doing t-shirts, doing step and repeats, doing walking around, getting videos of the kids and reels and everything that we have done is a better product than what's out there by far. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to me. We have a better product.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Hey, you don't prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah. They haven't.
No, not. And I don't even want to, it's not even up for debate.
Yeah.
Nothing up for debate. I've watched this stuff. Dylan has played since 9 years old. Mm-hmm. We just started Fleetle last year.
Mm-hmm.
So 9, 2 seasons of 9, 2 seasons of 10, 2 seasons of 11, 2 seasons of 12. I didn't see anything beneficial. Nothing like this.
No.
Not one freaking iota.
No.
Nothing.
No.
So, and that's okay. Look, people bought into that. You know why? Because a specific person said, this is what you get. And people just want to play. So,
well, it's not even that, man. They were the only one here.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to play it.
Well, agreed. But I mean, he's the only one that's promoting. That's what he's doing. Again, honestly,
but
dude, I know
it wasn't, because there was other things down south.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
There was other things down south, and there was other things around, and there was tournaments, and there was this, and there was that. That is, in my opinion, I'm not blaming you for saying it. It's a cop out, because you don't have to accept a bad product.
Yeah.
If you get a bad car, are you pissed?
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Lemon law, you go get it, return it. What's different?
It's the same thing, yeah.
You get a bad or you get a bad gallon of milk, you returning it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Get a bad banana.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, funny.
Yeah. Well done.
I mean, look, seriously, if you get a bad product, you don't need to keep it, for one.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to support it.
Yeah, that's true.
So what's the difference with baseball? I mean, the Marlins, sorry to say, they have a problem producing a good product.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it's necessarily what they're like. There's been talented players on the Marlins. Don't get me wrong.
100%.
But they've got rid of them.
Yeah.
Okay. And since they've got rid of them, fans have lost faith. But in all honesty, Jeff, sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk by saying this. I don't think they ever had true fans.
Talking about the Marlins?
Yep.
I'm not a Marlins fan. You can say that
all day. No, but I understand.
But
I'm not trying to hate on them.
But you're not trying to hate on the team.
I'm not trying to hate on them. They have had. I have players with the Marlins right now.
Yeah.
Right. So I am not trying to hate on, but the product has to stay good.
So here's my thought
to
on
bring
the Marlins.
In the people. But I also think that stadium's in a bad spot too.
Oh, 100%.
Wally just texted me. What's up? Call this number, Wally.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna Aunt Barbara, you better answer the phone. I am calling Aunt Barbara. Hello, Aunt Barbara.
Yeah. No, all I'll say about the Marlins is this. The only fans that I know that I will sit back and say are diehard through and through fans. I mean, there's no questions asked. Would be my Uncle Tracy, Aunt Carol, Alan, Sarah, especially Sarah, dude. Like my cousin Sarah is a diehard Marlins fan, and she has been since she was a baby. And she'll watch them if they're losing 10-0 or if they're winning 10-0. She watches. I mean, it doesn't matter. So those kind of fans I'm cool with. I will say I think ownership hurt the Marlins a lot over that time when they were, I shouldn't say buying a World Series, but they did. I mean, let's paint the brass picture here that they brought in Gary Sheffield and Dalton. How was that guy's name? Darren Dalton and Bonilla and all these guys, and then Beckett and AJ Burnett and all these guys that they brought in, and they went on and beat the Yankees to win the World Series. And then all of a sudden, magically within 2 years, those players are gone. And it's like, all right, so you paid for the World Series,
right?
Now what do you do? What do we got?
No, Mike, you busy?
Uh-oh.
What are you doing over there? Hello, how you doing, buddy? Can you get me a link real quick? Can you do that? A link, real quick for somebody to call in. Can you do that during the show? Or, okay, I just didn't know. I know
Mike's the best, dude.
I know we've done that before.
Here's the thing with Mike. Okay, this is what I like about Mike.
He's just,
all you have to do is just say, "Can you do this?" And he went, "Yeah,
no problem.
Be right back.
I'll be there."
Done.
And I'm sorry, this was obviously not planned. This is preempted, and I want to see if I can work this out because I know how much this would mean to somebody.
All right.
So, anyways, keep going.
What was I saying?
Proceed. I don't remember.
I don't know. I'm waiting on Wally to hire me. That's all I know. So hopefully I get a hold of his ass. Tell Big Daddy I need a job.
There we go.
Oh God.
Let's send this to Wally. Tell him to call in real quick. Wally.
But that is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, it'd be cool if they had a national team. That'd be nice. Give me an excuse to go to Tennessee to watch a ball game. That's what I'm talking about. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Wow. John McVeigh is on. Old Johnny.
Johnny boy. Spoke to him this morning. Hey, John, tell us what you really think about travel baseball at this point in time in life.
Oh, God. I bet he hates it like
he loves it.
Does he?
No.
Exactly. Oh, and JoJo's on too.
JoJo's on?
Yeah.
They're all probably watching. Make sure I don't do something
screw up.
Stupid.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for. There's so many times I think it's funny is that your wife will look at me and you'll be on the phone talking to somebody, or you'll walk into a crowded room with somebody and she'll walk over and go, "Get him out of there. Get him out of there." Why do I got to go do it? Because he'll listen to you. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, we're 500 because of it. All right.
Ah, boy. Gotta love it. He was telling me a story this morning. We were on the phone about his hitters this past weekend. But it was funny. The story was, he was telling me it's just proof in the pudding where things have gone.
Yeah.
Honestly. It 500.
He's 500 sucks.
He's a trip. So let's see if Wally calls in. He may, but if he doesn't, it's all right. Spring training started.
Yeah.
I am leaving shortly on a jet plane.
Okay. When are you leaving?
No, when I'll be back again.
When are you leaving?
Sorry. Soon. I gotta book my flight. I've waited a little bit longer than I normally do, just because I had other things going on, and yep, gonna head out to Arizona. Go do that first, then swing on back and do the Florida tour that I have.
Now, what happens in Arizona? You just go out and watch players,
just
or
go out there and talk to my guys, say hello, and show the love, and go to a couple games and take them out to dinner, and and then we do a nice group dinner for all the guys that are out there, all my guys, and that way they get to know each other too, and if they end up on the same ball club, they at least know who the hell each other are. I do that, and then what's he saying? He's a jerk.
Well, I'll tell you what, Johnny, you should have heard me. I'm going to say it now because I know we're coming close to the end of the show here. But
15 minutes.
All I'm going to say is that in my top 5, Johnny, my favorite country singers of all time, passed away. So rest in peace, Toby Keith, the big dog daddy, man. Maybe that's another reason why I'm a little hoarse coming in here, because I was singing my heart out in the car. But I didn't want to hear Phil sing either. Trust me, John.
It's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know which one you were doing. You're doing Peter, Paul, and Mary? Which one would believe it. Leave the suspense.
Okay. So spring training. Okay.
Actually, before wait, I got an agent question I got to ask you, because I've always wanted to know this.
Okay.
Are you allowed, when you go to these things, are you allowed to try to get other players?
Yeah, but I have to do it strategically.
Thank you. So
I'll tell you why.
I didn't know how it worked.
So years ago, when I first started, you were allowed to go on the field all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We got our our agent passes, whatever. Our players were put in for the BP pass. I'd have my credentials, and I'd go in. Somewhere down the line, somebody ruined that. And I'll tell you what happened is people were trying to recruit while they're on the field for potential other play. And look, I don't want to say it's shady, but it's not a good look. And not only that, but I never understood why they would do it. They're there working.
Right.
They have no time to sit there and talk about what you can do for them as an agent.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to hit BP.
Yeah.
And I got to focus. So that's bad.
Now you're taking them out of their game.
That's a bad time to do it. I never understood that. So whatever, shady, call it bad, bad approach, whatever. I always liked waiting till afterwards.
Yeah.
Or then they had a day off.
Yeah. Catch up with them then, and that way you can
take them out to dinner, take them out to lunch. Oh, Wally's here. Bring him on. Let's bring him on. Let's talk to Wally real quick.
My buddy. Love this guy.
Where is
freaking Wally? You better get up here more.
There he is.
What's up, guys?
What are you doing?
I'm sitting here being a bum in the sun. It's 75 degrees in Arizona.
It's colder here.
It's colder there. It's nice here.
Man, it was like 40 degrees this morning.
Wow.
It was cold. How cold was it there this morning?
Oh, probably in the 40s.
Yeah. So, we were talking a little bit about, spring training now. I'm going to head out there.
Can't hear very good.
Oh, you want me to talk louder? Talk louder? That better?
How about now?
Can you hear me better?
I can barely hear you guys.
Raise up your volume a little bit, buddy.
Mine's all the way up.
Huh.
I can hear good enough.
All right. I like that.
Yeah. All right. So what I was talking about and Jeff asked me a question about, like, when I go out to spring training and stuff like that, do I actually physically get to recruit while I'm there? And I said, yes, I do it strategically. So here's a question for you, Wally. Did you ever have an agent approach you while you were on the field during BP and ask you who your agent was? We lost your volume. Hold on. Wally.
Let's see if we got anything.
Yeah. We lost your volume, Bubba. You hit a button. Something with your button. Anyways,
there we go.
There you are. So, did you hear what I had asked? You must have heard us, but we didn't hear you.
You asked me if I'd ever had an agent, I think, come on the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
You never had your agent come on the field, or did you ever have an agent approach you?
I can't hear worth crap, Phil.
That's all right. Just stand there. You look good. Is that better?
Not really, unless I'm deaf.
Well, maybe take the off season and go to ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Try something new.
Is that better?
Maybe a little bit, not much.
All right, I'm going to talk loud. Can you hear me? Maybe it's your Bluetooth. Take your ear pods out. Take them out. Just take them out.
Oh,
and
now
disconnect.
I can hear. Shit.
See, there you go.
I'm trying to hear it through the earpods.
Take the earpods out.
Like, I can't hear.
I love you, dude. You're so freaking trip. No wonder I can't hear. I got earplugs in. All right. So here was the question. The question was, when you were a player and you were getting ready to start a game, did you ever have an agent approach you on the field? Because this is a question Jeff asked me. How do I recruit when I go out to spring training or whatever? And how do I meet with guys? And I said, somebody ruined this a long time ago, because when I first started, we were getting BP passes like crazy. Now they limited that crap because of some of the agents that were trying to recruit while on the field for BP and got, BP access or whatever. So did you ever, in your time as a player, did you ever have guys approach you to ask you who your agent was or whatever?
I had people approach me, but never on the field, Philly. There was always generally, if it was somebody, it was at the hotel or something like that, or standing outside in the parking lot or whatever, but not actually on the field.
Yeah, well, and that's what I told Jeff. And I'm like, look, Jeff, that wasn't my style. I wanted to get them afterwards, a day off while I was out there. You know what I mean? Some of the guys that were pitchers, they were done earlier and enough in the day that you could take them out and go out to dinner and grab a couple of drinks and have a cigar or whatever. That's how I try to recruit. I never went to these guys during BP. I'm like, they got to work. What am I going to? Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I don't think players would appreciate stuff like that. I think they like it more on the side, I think.
Absolutely.
I was with Nick Moss for quite a few years, so I never really changed agents that much. But, I would think that was unclassy guy to come up to you on the field like that and try to recruit you that way.
Yeah,
I mean, they do.
Makes sense.
Well, that's what I was telling
Because they do
Jeff.
it in football, dude. They do it in football all the freaking time. All the time they do it in football.
Yeah, they do. I do know that. But see, and what I was saying to Jeff was like, they've stopped a lot of the BP passes now because agents were doing that crap. So they were like, you know what? Game over. Nobody's getting it now. And it screwed it up for everybody, because now I was at least like to go down there. I would take my son, if at times when I had an opportunity to see guys that were local, or I took Dylan away.
Yeah.
He had a blast. I mean, he met Judge, he's met who else? Derek. He's met a bunch of guys. I mean, the list goes on. Donovan Solano, I represent.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of dudes he's met. Right. Because I was able to do that. And now they screwed it up for everybody because they were just trying to be idiots and have a bad approach on how to, get a player.
Hey, it only takes a couple bad eggs to ruin it for everybody, and that's unfortunate for some guys are really good guys that I've met along the agent side of the game. And, then you got some really pushy guys that don't end up getting anywhere, but they want something for something,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask him. So I was telling Jeff that about the podcast stuff. So, you see this, how easy it is now. We sent you a link. You got on. You could do this from the comfort of your home in Montana, wherever you're at, and join us, and we could go back and forth. I want to get Tori on. We could get Hojo, Hernandez, whoever. Let's bring on some of these old.
You said old guys.
I hate when I say that.
Right.
Some of the guys that I grew up watching.
Some of those guys. I get a lot of those guys to come on. That's not even an issue. So yeah.
And look, we can bounce ideas off of each other and get some, support from.
Do you go to Montana?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
No, it's Oregon. I'm Oregon. Phil doesn't remember where I live.
I thought you said Montana.
No, Oregon.
Oh, Oregon.
I go to Montana to fish.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what it was. I know he said he went to Montana. Yeah, he goes all over the place. This guy travels more than freaking Delta.
Well, one thing's for sure. I'm going to go home, and I go home the end of next week, and I'm going to kind of set some sort of little studio up in my den and kind of go from there. We'll talk about it, see what we got. So
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set you up with Daniel and Joe, and we're going to get you hooked up when you get home, and they'll help us out, and Mike here too, to get you linked in. We'll get you the gear that you need. And we'll make this a trifecta.
It'd be fun. I want to try it anyway.
Look, first of all, you're good.
I can tell you like this. All right, so I do the background of all the social media crap that we have to do on this show, and between you and Glavin, when we had Glavin on, are the two most watched podcast episodes that we've had yet. And at one point on TikTok that I just put just a clip of you talking with us, and I mean, all we were doing was just bullshitting the whole time. It literally had, I think it was like 627 watches in like less than 4 hours, and I'm like, holy crap!
I did tell him, I'm like, you had the most until my son came home.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all right.
Yeah. But, I mean, it was like it's hilarious because like I talked to my assistant coach that I coached with last season. He's actually a huge fan of yours, by the way. Because
who's not a huge fan of this guy?
Well, it's like he said, he goes, he's the reason why I want to stay coaching. I'm like, why is that? He goes, because I'm waiting on the day to pick up all the bats out of the dugout, fling them bitches out in the freaking field. He goes, dude, all I can describe, he goes, one word describes Wally Backman to me, and that is savage. And I'm like, oh, all right. I just screenshotted and sent it to him and said, guess who's on right now?
I think the best one I ever had is when I gave third base away. One time I gave it to a kid and it happened to be his birthday. I told him, run with this base and don't let anybody have it. He did. They had to do it for 20 minutes to get another base out there. That's good stuff.
I never saw that one. Where is that at?
It's not on video, but it's some good stuff.
Shit! Yeah. We gotta get. Somebody's got that video.
This is why we gotta have the trifecta. I gotta hear this.
I mean, but when after he threw the bats in, then after he threw the baseballs in, he goes, "Come on, Doc, let's go have a beer."
No, I'm gonna tell you this. I didn't notice this, and when I remember first watching it, and then I was like, "This guy's freaking hilarious." And then when I found out who it was, I was like, "Oh, I remember him when he played on the Mets."
Oh my god, dude!
Then I watched it again. Wally, the best part of the whole thing is when you told the catcher to move out of the way.
I didn't want to hit it.
Hey, catch, move,
hey, catch, move.
Got some flying objects coming at you.
I'm telling you, I rewatched it. It was like literally 2 weeks ago when my coach and I were talking about it, and I rewatched it, and I am crying laughing when he said, Jesus, he told the catcher to move before he heaved all those freaking bats. I'm like, that is great. Oh,
put that in your freaking report, you pipsqueak.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, that kid was scared to death. He was young. He was scared to death, but he's trying to do his job. But
whatever.
Well, whatever.
Did he really? I don't think he said anything, or did he say something?
Yeah, he did say something. I can't.
What did he say? Do you remember?
It was something about me getting the hell out of there, or something like that. He had a few swear words that he said, and I just lit him up like a Christmas tree.
So I'll tell you a real quick story, and it's kind of funny, but it's not funny because I got on him a little bit. So Dylan had a tournament this past weekend, so he did pretty well. Got a couple outside, and when he hits, I always go behind the plate because I don't want him seeing me on the side. You know what I mean? I don't want him eyeball ball, so I always go behind him, and he gets it outside on his first at bat. A couple outside calls. He does what he does, and he hit it the other way. His last at bat of the tournament, he actually struck out looking, and I'm not shitting you. This kid. And he should have fouled it off, Wally. And I told him that. I said, you should have hacked at it, fouled it off,
it was a ball,
and get more life, right? But he didn't. Got called. He got rung up. But he freaking looked back. Oh man, I lost him. Oh wait, there you are. He looked back at the umpire, on his way back to the dugout. I mean, he pulled a classic big leaguer move. Period.
It was a ball. The pitch was a ball.
It was a ball. No doubt. But I told him you got to protect. 3-2 count. You got to protect. So what I didn't like is that he turned around. I mean, he's 12 years old. But this is what happens is these kids are watching this shit every day. Yeah. These big leaguers are doing it. But it just brings me back to a point of, I told him, I said, dude, you would have got rung up. If I was the umpire, you're gone. Well, turns out later on in the night, the umpire comes up to him and my wife and says, Poppy, you got to swing at those. That was a strike. Didn't realize he knew it was my kid. And I'm telling you, that's why he didn't ring him up. Because I would have. Yeah. If he'd have looked back to me like that.
He did not ring him up. He called it a ball?
No. He didn't run him out. He didn't run him.
Oh, he didn't run him out of the game. Okay, gotcha.
He didn't run. He called him out. But what happened was afterwards he came over and to the area where we were at for the Gatorade tent, and my wife was stationed there and Dylan was there, and he looked at him and he said, the umpire, he's like, that was a strike and you should, you got to foul that off. So what was interesting is somehow, some way, he knew this was the tournament director's son. Now, I don't approve of that. I would have told his ass to throw him out. But because I don't want him doing that at 12 years old. I have no patience for that. And I tell him that all the time. He's going to but I can understand his frustration because it was not a freaking strike. Yeah. But I told him you got to protect. So again, there's father lessons there that I'm trying to tell him, and maybe one day when you meet him, Wally, you can tell him how to get thrown out and throw the baseballs at it to everybody. But
so it's tough. I've never thought that umpiring is good, and players know the strike zone better than the umpires a lot of times. I mean, there's some good ones. Don't get me wrong, but what you see on TV today, what some players do to how they react to umpires, kids see that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's again, but I think the point of the story is he watches that video every freaking 5 minutes of you and both of him, my son. I mean, Dominic's laughing and Dominic's every 5 minutes. Dad, look at Wally. Dad, look. I'm like, Dylan, we saw it a million times already. I know what Wally's going to do. And we want to call him up and ask him every point of the clip.
So I'll give you
him on the side and tell him about what you say to umpires when you're not happy.
Got to mold him.
So I'll give you one that happened to me this weekend with my kids. So I coach obviously a younger group. So my kids are all, 9 and 10 years old, but I coach old school crap. And my philosophy is there's no crying in baseball, except I'll allow it twice if you get hit in the face or you get hit in the balls. And then I'm allowed. Then I'm allowed. And they're all like, well, we have a cup on. I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, stand out there. Let me throw the ball right at you in the balls and hit you right in that cup. And let's see if it still hurts, because I can tell you it does.
I guarantee
I had to come up with a third one now.
What's that?
When you're a catcher and the bat comes through and hits you in the back of the hand.
Oof.
And I mean, hits it to the point to where it launches the glove off.
Oh, yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, I'm going to let that go. That was Jackson. So Jackson got drilled in the back of his hand catching. And all I heard was the pop, and I hear, oh, God. And he goes down, and I'm like, oh, you got to be freaking kidding me. He's crying and everything else. And I'm like, I'm like, rub dirt on it. Let's freaking go.
But you could understand why he was
100%, because I caught. So I know how it is. So I asked him, can you do this? Yes. Okay. Put the glove on. Let's finish the inning. Let's go. And it was like the rest of the day was crybaby crap, man.
Right.
I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. So we got into the car. I had a parent telling me on the way, hey, just take it easy on him. What?
Tough love.
Thank you.
Love.
So I told him in the car, I said, maybe baseball's just not for you. And he's like, what?
Boy.
I said, maybe this isn't your game, dude. I said, I tell you this all the time. Baseball is a game of failure. You're going to fail
99.9
more than you will ever succeed in this game. If you can't handle that, then this isn't for you.
Agreed.
And I said, I'll take my hat off to myself as far as it's my fault that I don't work with you as much as I possibly can, because I do things.
You can't do that.
But I can't work on your emotions, dude. You have to do that. No. I can't help you with that.
No, so I got a good story about
I want to hear
my son, Wally Jr. He got drafted by the Texas Rangers. Big, huge, strong kid, 6'3". trust me, he's tough as a horse, but he got into A-ball and stuff, and I've told him before, you got to be mentally tough in this game, because failure, you can be a great player and you fail 7 out of 10 times. And it was hard on my son, and he had all the tools, he had everything it took to play the game in the big leagues, except the mental part of it, and mental part of it is a huge part of it. Baseball's very, very mental.
Yeah.
You can't you can be the most talented player in the world, and if you have a meltdown, you're done. Period. Or you can't handle that kind of pressure or those kind of situations or whatever. I think it's probably 9/10 of the game.
Yeah.
Well, and I also said to him too, I was like, you got to remember, I always tell you, play like you don't know who's watching you.
Yeah.
Just pretend that you don't know anybody's there, because sometimes you over exaggerate when you know that certain people are. And I said, and unfortunately, you knew who was there. Your grandparents were there. Your cousins were there. And you acted like a spoiled little jerk. And I'm like, and I can't have that. I was like, number one, it makes me look like a shit parent. And number two, everything that I'm promoting not to do on this team as the manager, you're doing it.
Right.
So I was like, something's got to give. So it's one of those things where, like I said, I'm going to show him a little bit of this video, because he always wonders if I bring his name up on here.
Wally, did you ever get hit in the head?
Yes.
How many times?
Well, the first time I couldn't even tell you, Phil, how many times I've been hit in the head, but I remember in my professional career, I was 4 for 4 in A-ball one game, and I was 18 years old, and I laid down a bunt. We were winning by 5 runs. And my manager told me was
he hit you in the head.
No, the next day. He said, Wall, you better watch out tomorrow, because they're going to drill you. I said, for what? I just wanted to get 5 hits. And the first pitch of the game, I was leading off. First pitch of the game was right in the ear hole, man.
That's freaking classic.
Well,
either way,
my manager, long-time pitcher in the big leagues. Yeah.
What was the worst injury you ever had?
Probably when I tore my rotator cuff.
Yeah. Oh, do you still feel that to this day when it gets cold out?
Actually, I don't. It's funny, because when I tore it in,
I know you do.
I do. My freaking
I think it was 81.
Yeah.
And our doctor was Dr. Parks there in New York. And they, Craig Swan, actually, we had almost the identical tears. Of course, Swanee was a pitcher.
Yep.
And we went to Florida for Instruction League. And Dr. Parks said, well, I don't want to do surgery on you. He did surgery on Swanee. And about 3 years, to shorten the story, about 3 years later, I was playing, and my shoulder killed me for 2 years.
Yeah.
And they moved me from shortstop to second base in New York. And I went up the middle, and I made a hard throw behind second base, and something popped in my shoulder. And it's unbelievable. My shoulder has never hurt me ever again.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Serious. Yeah, it's never bothered me ever again. And I guess it's just breaking all that scar tissue loose.
Yeah.
I let it heal naturally, But back in those days, you didn't know. You went under the knife, you might not play again.
Yeah, that's true. Agreed. I still feel my rotator cuff to this day from my surgery. I don't think I had the best doctor to begin with, but still have a good old scar that he gave me, and I still feel it. It's bad.
My knees are that way for years of playing third and catching. But I mean, I know when it's going to rain a day before, because my knees will tighten, and all of a sudden the next day it rains. And I knew it was coming on Sunday, by the way, which granted I saw the news report, so I kind of cheated. But I mean, it's one of those where I know that's going to happen, because all of a sudden I'll go to get in the car or something like that. I'm like, God, man, my knees are killing me. And I'm like, oh, it's going to friggin' rain.
Yep.
Damn it.
What was the best brawl you got into? And then we gotta jump off.
Oh man, the best brawl we got into is in AAA. When I was in Vegas, we had to play Sacramento 7 games in a row, and
oh my God.
It was to end the first half, and they had like a 5-game lead against us. Well, we won all 7 games in a row, and they were trying to hit. If you remember, in Jordani Valdesman.
Yep.
They came to the Mets and said all that stuff to Terry in the shower or whatever. And this kid was like 10 for 14, and they tried to hit him. Not once, not twice, but the third time they finally hit him. And, it was all about protecting your players. I get it. If you're going to hit a guy and you take a shot at him, you get one shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they took 3 shots at him, and the fight was on, and it was a big fight.
I'll be honest with
you. Some big ones. I remember Brian West was the number 1 pick for the White Sox when I was managing the White Sox organization. We got in a fight with the Rockies in Virginia, and he tore the guy's name was Mike Manchuk, I think. But anyway, Westy was a linebacker for LSU. He actually was the number 1 pick, and then he ended up going back to LSU to play football again, but then he came back and played again for the White Sox. It's a unique story, but he got in the middle of a fight, and Westy's a big, strong kid, and he tore this guy to the ground and tore his arm out of socket and ruined his career. That was we've had some big fights. Minor leagues, I'd say the minor leagues are real fights.
Yeah.
A little different than the big leagues, I think.
I honestly, I've seen some good. I mean, look, the Strawberry one with Nelson and all those guys when Strawberry was with the Yankees. That one,
right?
Oh God, what was his name? Bermudez.
Yeah, Bermudez.
Right? Bermudez, the pitcher for the Orioles that they freaking about killed.
Yeah.
But Greg.
My favorite of all time is Nolan Ryan and Robin Ventura, man.
Yeah,
Robin was crazy to go out and chase the Lets and go after.
Oh my God!
It's not even that. The guy wrestles freaking boars and shit. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
No,
he's gonna own you.
I'll bet about halfway out there, he was regretting that he was going out.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, 100% when he made the effort. It's
absolutely.
like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
And the funnier part is watch it again. Nolan Ryan never takes his glove off.
Nope.
He beats his ass with one hand.
Yep, he just grabbed around the neck and
oh man.
All right, so we got to wrap up. But we need to come up with the deal.
I'm telling you, when are you leaving? Are you leaving this week? I think you said
next week. I'm leaving next week Thursday to go home.
Okay, so get home, safe travels with you and your wife, and then we'll link up, and I'm gonna get Joe and Mike and Daniel all on this stuff, and we're gonna do this. I really want it. It's gonna be great because look, man, we could just sit here and bullshit all day long about what he has done as a manager, as a coach, and of course
you're just talking baseball.
Well, that
man.
too, but and then
good.
Of course
what I want to do, just talk baseball.
That's just let's talk baseball, and then also, I mean, again, he legend in my opinion, savage, legend. I mean, I like the Savage too. Actually,
we got to get him a shirt.
Get him a shirt that says Savage.
Just says
he's got to wear it every freaking show.
That's his show shirt.
There you go.
Savage show shirt. I like that.
And we'll just put baseballs all around the desk.
Around it. Yeah.
All
right, buddy.
Good,
go enjoy the evening, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Wally.
Wally, be good,
you too, brother.
All
right, man. So
listen. I love that guy. He's so awesome.
Dude, he's the bomb, bro.
I mean, he's sitting on the couch drinking and hanging
Jamie
out.
just watched that from the fields.
Yeah.
Okay? Coaching a 50-70 team, and he has it in his earpiece, and he says, "Can you get Wally to give me an autograph that says to an unapologetically good coach?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get it. I'll handle it." Yeah.
No, I love that
Great
guy, man. It's cool because, first of all, I've again watched him since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But the fact that we have that kind of relationship that I could just text him and say, "Hey man, get on the show real quick."
Done.
It's surreal.
Yeah.
It's surreal. Jeff, thank you very much. Great show today.
Got it, brother.
Love
Mike,
you, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you to everybody. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
and
Wally.
We'll see you next time. Thanks to Wally. And we'll see you next time on the Diamond.